Alrighty, welcome back. We're back at it. We're back to our original schedule. We had a great weekend, but what we're going to do today is we're going to put a sail panel on just like we have on this side. What I'm going to say about the weekend is I think that if anybody learned anything, I think they would learn that have no fear. We chopped this thing all to pieces. We threw everything on the ground, and then now we're starting to put it back together. We're trying to get the paint ripped off it so we can see what we have, but basically I'm going to go to the passenger side, and I'm going to put that sail panel in to show you how I've done it. Can you come back over here for a sec, sweetheart? On this car, I plan on leaving it in bare metal, and basically I want to leave it in bare metal just to show anybody that wants a coupe out of a four-door car. We all know that you can buy a four-door car cheaper than you can a coupe. I just want it in bare metal to let anybody know when they come up to it. They say, well, looks like it was a four-door car and they've changed it. Well, then that will let them know that they can do it also. Basically, that's why I want to leave it in bare metal. As you see, the door has been welded shut. Greg welded this shut from Ontario. He did an excellent job. But as he's welded that shut, as we come to the other side, you can see the lines where the doors have been welded shut. On this side, Andrew came in and welded this side shut, and I have ground this side. So that side over there looked exactly like this side, but I've taken a grinder and I've ground that, and I got the weld looking down. So basically that's what I'm going to go for. We're going to grind it down so it looks like that. I like more weld than is necessary because then I can grind it off and do a really good job on it. This sail panel is here. Now we got the roof added on. Basically what we did is we took two pieces of 2-inch and one piece of 3/4-inch tape. We did not do much measuring on this car. We let the tape do the measuring for us. We wrapped one piece of 2-inch around, then another piece of 2-inch around, then a 3/4-inch piece, and we did the exact same thing on both sides, and then we cut it and welded it back on. It came out absolutely, I would say, almost perfect, other than an 1/8 or a 1/16 or whatever. It's fantastic. We had to split it in here and knock out the post a little bit so the pinch weld matched up on either side. This car would be getting new glass, so the new glass would be made with a piece of cardboard, and then you get a new piece of safety glass made. It's flat, so you can just take it to your local glass shop. They'll cut you a piece. The top of the door has been put on the other side. Basically what happens is the door frame is right here, and what has to happen, just like on the other side, it has to be, it's too high and whatever, so it has to be cut and made to fit. And basically I just cut it in half, put this piece on there, put this piece on here, and then fill in the middle. On this chop, we did not change the post. There was a nice post on the back window that went up like this. There was a nice post there. And me and Jolene talked about that before we chopped it, whether we should move that post and put it up on the front door. We did not do that because it would have made the window a lot smaller than it is now, because that lean up would have made it a lot smaller. We did not change the door. We did not make that longer. Did not want to. Do not have to. Not trying to make a 48 Chev coupe that the factory made. We're trying to build something that we want, basically. So what happened is we cut the post off, and we cut the front post off. We just laid it back down on and laid it right on the post. We didn't even cut this post. We cut where the post was before. You can see where the post was before. It was way up here. Instead of getting up into the roof and making a big mess, we just sliced it off. When we chopped it, we just slid it ahead and nailed it back on and cut some off this post and laid the roof back down on. We just tried to make it simple as possible. So then when we put the roof back on, we cut out the back window. You basically, on a back window, you want to keep your back window, and the reason being is it's not safety glass, it's tempered. So when you hit that, it'll smash in a bunch of little pieces. That stuff you generally do not cut or cannot cut, so you basically try to save it and place it back in. So that's what we did. We end up cutting the roof in half, keeping the piece that we wanted, putting it back on the roof, and that's where we're at. The sail panel I have right here. This is the back window. I thought about doing the quarter window in this. Jolene wants a quarter window in it, and I'm going to explain that too as we get going. The quarter window is right there. This is what the cord is, it looks like. The back window is laid right down on it now. This is not going to fit. It does not fit, and we have to make it fit. And we're going to do that in this video. We're going to do that in this video. Also, this is the back window, and I want to explain something. Jolene is interested in having a 5-window coupe. Don't count the front window. You do not count the front window. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what she's interested in. If we come back over this side, basically what's going on is, this is the way I would like to do it. I like the idea of having the 3-window. I like the idea of having the 3-window. But basically, if I want to have the 5-window, I will take my leftover pieces that I have, and I will make the shape of the window that I want, and then I will apply it in there. That's how I'm going to do that. I would not try to cut this in pieces, put it in there, and then make all my metal come to it and try to make it work. That seems like a hard thing to do. So basically, put our sail panel on, put our piece on to cover to finish the rest of the roof, and then make your window what you want it to look like, cut it, section it, do whatever you want, put it up here, cut that shape out, and then weld your window in. I think that would be a lot easier. So basically, it's undecided whether it's 3-window or 5-window. We have, I better get to work, hadn't I, instead of talking. We have the tops of the doors. Jolene does not like it straight up like that. Can I make them round like this? And yes, we can. There's a piece here we'll actually cut and make that back of that door round, and we'll fill that in, but we'll probably do a video on that. Doors are shutting nice. We have a porta-power in the middle of the car. And that porta-power is something that you can buy pretty reasonable at Princess Auto. And basically what I'm doing is I push that car open to make the doors fit good and shut good. Both doors fit really good. If you noticed on a lot of older cars, some of the gaps are really tight where the door goes, and the doors do not fit that well, probably because it's probably coming in a little bit, but we got both doors fitting really nice on this car. Geez, that sounds nice. Anyways, it's not as nice as you, Jolene. Jolene looks amazing today. I'm not going to tell you. So we have the sail panel here. When I put that up on there, the drip rail, it does not fit. It does not fit at all. So basically, what it told me is that I have to section it. And what I mean by section it is cut it apart. When I put it up there and try to get that drip rail molding going there, it does not have a nice flow to it. Kind of got a to it, if you know what I'm saying, straight through and down. We have to do a bit of work to the drip rail molding also, but this is something that it takes some work and takes a little bit of brain work, which I don't mind. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sail panel and try to place it in the car so it fits okay. So let's do that. Let's do that. I also, whatever piece I've done on the other side, I do the exact same thing on this side, basically. So I have a piece of paper here for a pattern to cover this post over here. You can see the post is kicked in here. There was no way to get this to come up here. This would have to be filled in here. So basically, it was just a nice spot for a nice piece of metal to go in there. If I want the other window, I section this all out, make the shape that I want, cut the shape out, and then weld the window in. So we have the drip rail molding. I can see on the other side. This is the top of the drip rail molding. I can see on the sail panel that I just cut it accordingly. So I'm going to cut it accordingly on this one. Just do the exact same thing. And basically that's what I suggest you do. Whatever you do on one side, do on the other. See if I can draw a line and follow that line. Basically, that's what I'm going to do. It was funny. I'm not sure. There was a comment written about, get the young fellers to cut the roof off. Get them help them cut the roof off. And I'm not sure, but the young feller wrote back and said, well, I'm cleaning the fender off. That's an important part of the build, and it certainly is. I have to have a front fender for the car. Good job. Basically, the young feller's got to tear stuff apart with us, help us rip it apart, and they get a little chance to show their spirit of welding. And also, you must start with something that you must start somewhere. Like, you would never want to start with a zip cut and a grinder with no guard on as a young person. You want to start with like a couple tools, like a drill and a DA and stuff like that. I have to thank Joe Sosa and what's the other guy's name? Nicholas Hetherington for sponsoring them, because they had a great time, and Jolene knows that for a fact because she talked to their parents. They had a great time. They're wondering if they can come back, and they probably will someday. Let's cut this. Let's get at it. So I'm going to cut this. I got a line there. It does not have to be exact same as the other one, because this is what is happening. When I'm laying these panels on, I'm laying them on, tacking them on, and then I'm zip cutting in them and butt welding them on. So basically, if I have a little extra, that's great, because that'll give me room to butt weld it on, lay it over top. Now, I've got a thing to tell you. People that go around or whatever, people that say, oh, there's no fill in my car, there's no fill in my car. Well, people that should know any better, I want to let you know, you should not say that, because there is. This has a place here where the quarter panel meets the roof, and you can see where they've overlapped it and seamed it and welded it. You can see where it's puckered in there, and that place right there has got lead in it. If we come over to the other side, I had got a little place there. I'm going to clean it out a little better and weld it up a little better. This is called lead right here. This is all lead. It's got like a different color on it. That's called filler. When you say you have no fill in your car, well, I hate to tell you, there's fill in your car. And there's fill in the post. There's fill all over the place when it comes to these cars. And basically, you should not say that, because it makes you sound like a fool. It has to come down. I'm going to pull this out. I have a piece of exhaust pipe in here that's holding everything in place. I'm just going to pull that out. We needed something across the back to hold it in place, and that's what we made. We made a piece of exhaust pipe. We put a couple stanchions on it, and it's to hold it in place. I'm going to come take a look in the back, and the reason I let that down is because I feel like it had it in the air, and it might need to go back up by the looks of things. It might need to go back up, but I have to put this back on here. This is where it gets. I'm going to take a piece of tape and do a little measuring here for a second. When I cut that off, it's hard to tell if it's the exact same length or not. Come on. Maybe I have to put my glasses on. That helped. I'm just going to see what I got going on here. Basically, that just tells me the length of that sail panel. We've got more on this sail panel. That's good. And the reason being is because I've got extra. I'd rather have more than not have enough. All right, I'm going to clean this edge off, and we'll we'll cut as we go. We'll do it as we go. Get off. Do that right there. Clean this edge off so we can tack it on. Does not matter. It's going to be overlapping that and buttoning it. Let's get it butted on, and then we'll go from there. I know on the other side, I just welded the corner on where it was before, and then I placed it in shape. So basically, that's what I'm going to do on this side. Grab this one for shits and giggles. So this sail panel issue that I got going on here is all by eye. Just trying to make it by eye and try to land it in the exact same place of the door. If you take notice on a 48 Chev coupe, you will take, me and Jolene have taken notice. I said the roof is back quite a ways, which is good because the seat does not hit right here. It's not right here at the front door. It's kind of back a little bit, so the seat's right about here somewhere. So it's good that that room's there. But if Jolene comes take a look, that back of that roof ends almost right in line with that back fender. Almost. Back of the door there, you can see right across there, right along there. On the original, it's back in the middle of the wheel. Back here the roof is. So we really have something that is way different. We have a smaller door and we have a smaller roof length, which I like. We have to remember on a 5-window coupe, your door would be, on a 5-window coupe, your door would be off a 4-door. Off a 3-window coupe, your door is off a 2-door, I would say. No, don't hold me exactly to that, but that there is causing me, I'm going to cut a little more. We're gonna have to deal with that. We're gonna have to deal with that, and the reason being is I don't want it way up there like that. I want that down some. Not too much though. All right, I'm gonna clean the bottom of it off. I have to clean the bottom of it off. Turn the welder on. And basically what we did on the weekend, we cut it all apart and then we screwed it together with self-tappers, and then we all kind of just looked at it and seen if we were doing the right thing or not. Just looking and seeing if we were doing the right thing. I'm gonna bring that down some because we have it. That gets hot. Yes, that does. Alrighty. Just going to tack that. Just going to go back and take a look for a second. Back of that roof has to come up some. Put our thing back up. Going to come down quite a ways. Just going to cut this. Going to mark it, see how far I can come down. Not very far. And over the other side, check out how far I cut the drip rail molding off. Drip rail molding's off right behind that post. That's why. That lets me know. The reason I'm cutting that off, or the reason I'm cutting that off and doing that, I just have to recall from what doing the other side. When it goes on here, it's got a sharp bend there from around to going straight. So this is going straight and this is going around. I'm trying to soften the blow. Trying to soften the blow. I'm going to squeeze that in with a pair of vice grips, and I'm going to tack it there. A pair of channel locks or something like that. Just going straight, and then we're going down, and it's a hard corner there. I maybe didn't get the other side as good as I wanted to, but we've got time to mess with it. Just going to cut that a little further. Watch your eyeballs, sweetheart. Oh, it's a shame. Just to hold it there, see what. There. Nice. Nice. Alrighty. I'm gonna tack that right there because I like it. I like it. And anything you tack, you got the door cut down there a little bit further. Then you tack. You can untack it. Just going to cut a little bit off the edge of that. Nope. Going to take a look at it first. Going to take a look at it. And that's why I'm deceived. We cut some off the end of that sail panel to make it go around where it's going. It looks really good to me. I'm not that it's kicked up there. Let's, I want to cut some off the face of this. I'm not going to cut all of it off, but I'm going to cut some of it off. It's on the edge of that, on the edge of that. And I know where the line is. I learned from the other side. That's a lot softer turn, is it not? I learned from the other side what to do on this side, and yeah, I can go up a little bit further. I'm gonna stand back and take a look. To me, that looks really good. It's really good. I'm going to tack that there, and I can cut that off after. Just gonna hold it there, tack it in place. Just kind of holding it there. Got the same line on the side. What I'm looking at is the distance on either side of the window. I'm thinking that that's bang on. Get this from my eye. I'm just going to do this. I was trying to find the hole on this side of the sail panel, and this hole, as you can see, it's not there, and the reason being is it's been cut off. So that's why we have a hole on that side, and that's what was bothering me. Where it comes to this piece inside here, it does not matter because we're coming over here and hitting that like that. So I'm going to cut this off just to make myself feel a little bit better in the eye. That's why I could not find a hole. I'm going to come back and take a look at it. It takes a lot of taking back and taking a look at it. If you don't do it, you can fool yourself. Roof looks good to me. I like the softer touch on this side. It's got a little soft. I'm going to have to maybe get in there and dig at that one a little bit. But this one looks good. Now, I'm going to tack that in the center. I'm going to push up on it. Screwdriver. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up this on the center. Trying to get that to come tight. Tear it apart here. Can't hold down on that. Hold down with the welder I can. Perfect. I want to take a look at it. I connected it there on the door. It's because it's connected on the... Good. I'm going to connect it right here. Just going to connect it in a couple more places so it don't take off on me. Clean it off. blew a hole in it. That's all right. So I'm on this here. I got that tacked on there. I'm going to run the zip cut a little ways through it. Then I'm going to clamp it together or push it together and make it sure it's the same level, and then butt weld it. You come on the other side, and the reason that I'm doing that on this one is because we're going to leave it in bare metal and basically just try to make it the best we can. We can overlap it for filler work and whatever, but on this side, on this one here, I've taken and just run the zip cut all the way through it, and it's butt welded together, and I did the exact same thing on the side panel. And the reason being is we're doing it in bare metal, and why not? You know, it basically could be, no matter if you butt weld it or you overlap it a little tiny bit, you must understand you're still filling that car out. When you send it to the body shop, they're going to fill it out to paint it. They're not going to paint bare metal. But on this one where we're leaving it bare metal, I'm just going to do the extra work and cut it with the zip cut and push it to flush to each other, and then I'll butt weld it together, and I'll do the exact same thing up here, and I'll do the exact same thing going down there. So right now I'm going to take and make the quarter window piece. Fill. I have the paper pattern that I had for the other side, and they made that on the weekend, and there it is. There's the paper pattern. It might have got a lot smaller because we got butt welding things in, but that's basically the pattern. So we'll make another piece like that. Cut it out of this right here. Also, where I have the shape like this, like to make the quarter window, I even pulled out the garnish molding. You could even take the garnish molding and make it a shape if you wanted to weld it in the side for the 5 window. You could do that if you want to. I'm going to make some noise. I'm going to cut this out with a grinder. Sorry, just that it's right here. You can see. Just gonna. Lots of good questions this weekend. You know, people were asking about basically how to strip a car, epoxy, and sealer, and all that sort of stuff. We got to show how to strip it. What I've been stripping it with is a 40 grit on that. 40 grit, strip it first, right to almost metal. And then I've been using the stripper wheel, like the young kids were using. Stripper wheel, exact same thing, what they were using. And then you'll sand it off with an 80 grit to get any scratches out of it, basically. Zip cut. On the epoxy and the sealer, it was kind of, you know, something that came out of my mouth as I was talking that weekend to people that were asking questions. And I'm thinking that, basically what I'm thinking is that epoxy and sealer has come from the automotive world of collision. Basically, I'm thinking that most of this stuff that everybody's thinking that we need to use has come from the collision centers. And basically, I'm saying that it does not have to apply to restoration, because collision center, like a sealer, basically that stuff is applied to a collision center. That's why that stuff is made or designed. It's designed not for a restoration shop. There's not enough restoration shops for someone to worry about us. I'm thinking that it's the collision shops that people want to worry about. Base clears for collision shop. It's basically so work can get done fastly, quickly, and economically. And I don't think they're making that stuff with this work in mind. On this piece, I put it through the roller when I did that. I put this piece through the roller. And basically it gave me the shape that I needed. But I needed a little more shape when I got it on there. I got it looking pretty good now. I just went inside with a rubber hammer and kind of tapped out on it, because if you come this way, we've got a nice shape going on there now where it's going around. But before, it seemed a little bit sharp where I butt welded it. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to just wheel it a little bit. Just going to wheel it a little bit. Not very much. Just enough to put a cone shape on it. Going that way. Just going to wheel it a little bit. And try to bring the center out a little bit. If I'm going this way on the wheel, piece of metal is going down this way. And don't take long. So if I do it this way, piece of metal will go down the other way. So we'll have a compound curve like a little bit, you know what I'm trying to say. Get your fingers caught, Chetty, and you'll know it. Get over there. You can see how it's curved a little bit. You can see that I'm going there. You can see it kind of giving a little bit of shape in the center. I don't use this wheel much, but I wanted to try it on this application because I rolled it and it didn't give me any shape in the center. But I was lucky. I can do it the other way like I've done it before. I can throw it in there. If I didn't like it, I can just get in there with a rubber hammer and a hammer and a dolly and beat on it a little bit. I can. But where I've got this, I'm going to go for it. Silly not to. So I'm matching that up to this post. And when it comes to this, I got a body line down here. I'm going to have to deal with all this stuff, and we'll go through it together as I do it. But there's a body line down here. There's a body line on the top of the door. And what I'm thinking is, instead of me getting out the step roller and step rolling the step bit on the what's it called? On the bead roller or step roller, the bead roller, I can use a die and step that out like that on the bottom, going through there. Yes, I can. But I do not know, this is what I do not know, how far the metal is going to go up on this piece. I have to have the metal go up on this piece all the way around. Where you see the roof here, just because that's cut off there does not mean that metal is going over to the bottom of that roof. Does not mean that at all. What it means is that there's extra metal there, because at this piece here, if you can see this line here, I'm hoping that I'm going to have a shape that comes up comes up a ways, because it's going to have to come up on the roof to look good. And it's going to have a compound curve going on the whole way around to make this trunk look good. And what I'm thinking is I'm leaving this metal below the window and here for that metal to come up on. When I put this piece on, I'm not putting that step roll in it, or step in it, because it might be down underneath the metal that I'm bringing up. I don't know yet. So basically what I see there is a piece of 1/8" flat stock. When I get the bum made, then I can run my 1" flat stock along with this, weld it to this, wherever it fits the metal that has come up over the side. So basically I'm going to save that, and basically that's all that is 1/8" welded on the edge and ground nice, and then I can run it wherever I want. So if the piece, if it's step rolled and it doesn't, I'm not going along here, if it's step rolled and it comes up like this, well then I can make it fit like that. If I go in there and use the bead roller and make a step roll and come along here and go straight, well what if my metal comes up over top of it? It just, you know, it's not something that I'm interested in. What am I not interested in? I'm not interested in having that issue when it comes time. Not interested in having that issue. So this piece is bigger than it should be, which is fantastic. And the reason being is I get to cut some off, and I'm still going the right way. I'm going to go get my grinder. So what I'm saying is I can put that piece on, or tack that piece on, and then I can put a marker on it, mark it from the inside, get it close, and then I can tack it on, and then we can butt weld it. And what I mean by butt weld it is we'll tack it on like this, we'll tack it on, run a little zip cut through it, make that all come together, and then we'll deal with it. Oh, gotta plug it in. Also, we'll be changing, oh, you see on the other side, I got the top of the door on. Well, this strip rail molding is going straight. We're going to change the door so it's round in the corner. We're going to do a video on that, obviously. You'll be here. I'm hoping that it won't take me long to get this put together and stripped down, I'm hoping. But this will be changed, so I'm not leaving this straight like this, so there you'll have to come back and see what's going on. And I want to thank everybody for coming back, and you can see how we got a little bit of curve going on. Beautiful. Beautiful Jolene is, beautiful. I'm going to take and buzz this off a little bit. Back window piece, never throw anything away. Never throw anything away when you've cut the roof off something, because you might need it. So basically what I'm doing is I'm matching that up there. Matching that up there. Put a little roll on that. One more roll on that. Going this way, because I want to roll this way. You can even push down on if you want to, but I find if you do, you have to be very careful, because you can do too much very quickly on this thing. I noticed that on the 40. Forgive me, but I'm going to say something like I told somebody this weekend. I feel like building a car like I build cars. This tool is overrated. I just don't use it that much. But let's face it, for the right person doing the right job, I guess, it's necessary. If you're couch building something, you want a shape, it's necessary to get that thing perfected, I guess. But for me, don't buy one of these things and think you're going to make a car, because that's basically not how it rolls. It takes probably years and years and years and years of practice to make that thing do what you want it to do. So the way I build a car, I'm going to just tack that on. I suppose I can leave it like that. I can open the door. What's that, sweetheart? No, I rolled it in that thing. I rolled, like I said, I rolled it. Jolene said you're not rolling it. No, I rolled the last one in the roller. I got a little too much roll on it. It didn't give me that. Remember I was inside there with the rubber hammer beating out on it a little bit? It did not give me that. You can see how I got a little curve on it. I can roll it some more before I put it in. Yes, I can, but I've actually got two things going on with it, with that. It's always good when your woman questions you. She wants to make sure that you're doing it right. So what I did is I traced it off on the inside. There's the mark that I've traced off on the inside. Now I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to leave a little bit on so I can tack it on this, and then we can butt weld it together. Basically, that's what I'm doing. So we got a little bit left on. I want to bring that side. What I'm doing is I'm trying to turn this edge over a little bit. I'm going to hold down on it on this edge. I'm going to hold down on this a little bit. I'm wheeling it through this. I'm trying to turn this little edge down just a little tiny bit. That's all I'm trying to do. Just holding down on that piece of metal and rolling it. Just trying to turn that edge over. You can do it with a hammer and dolly, but last time I did not use this tool to do it, and I kind of wished I did. That's all. Just holding down on this. I'm putting pressure down on this side, and I'm holding it. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Just want that to roll over a little bit, that's all. I just want it to lay down and roll over. Seat out of the way. Just pushing down on this, rolling it through there. Got a little bit of a gap going on up there. I cut that a little shy, but that's okay. That's okay. And I'm all right with that because last time it didn't fit that well, did it, baby? I'm going to clean that off. Pair of channel locks. I had them, I thought. I'm just going to I'm going to cheat. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I'm just taking this lip here as it's coming out straight like that. I'm just turning it in a little bit. And that way there, piece I just played with, we'll turn in with it. Not cheating, being smart. And I'm being smart from the other side. If you know what I'm trying to tell you. I learned from the other side that this piece didn't lay down that well. And Jolene said, it's a bit sharp up there. So, you know what happens? we try to fix it for the next side. Hammer. Did I throw my hammer somewhere, did I? Just want to knock that in up top. Tacked in place. Shouldn't put your tape on the floor, but there it is. We're getting, see how that's fitting nice there? I mean, I can bend. See how we're going like this? This is what I like. See, I got this piece going in here. I need a little piece in there, and I'm okay with that because I'll put that in there. You can see how nice and it's getting nice and tight on that edge. But I can turn this down in here by hand. It's just metal. It's just metal. I'm going to turn a little bit more. We'll get it tacked in place, and then now, on the other side, I put that right on along with that, right tight, and that's what kind of caused me a little bit of an issue, I think. You know, where that's out so far on that piece, that caused me a little bit of an issue. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll put it on tight here, but I'm gonna bend that piece in at the top. I left a little gap for here. I'm going to nice. There we go. Hoping that goes back in there. Whoop whoop. Good sign. And we did get some gaps on some cuts, but you know what? Using the old coat hanger bring us right back around. Using the old coat hanger bring us right back around. Didn't it, baby? Yeah, it did. I'm going to, I don't know if I should. I might do that. This is what I'm going to do this side. Where I've got this one looking so good on this side, where this is stuck out like this, I'm going to take and run a grinder and cut that out and push that down so that fits right, basically. So I'm going to weld the bottom so where I think it's good. And I am going to fix metal's coming up on that, so we're gonna have to run a piece of metal up on that. I got some I'm going to change that. I'm going to take that off already. Excuse me. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. I had to cut that on the angle the other side too, didn't I? I did so. going to take a slice off that, angle it a little different. Good. Down a little bit. Let's test it here. Trying to get a fella upset, is it? Huh? Come on. So wherever it hits the best is where I'm going to hit it first. And I'm having better luck right back here. Where it's hitting best. So just want to look at it, see if it's flushed up. Good. Awesome. Just going to push that in a little bit. Now it's just going to push that in a little bit. That'll hold it in place, and we run our zip cut up through to zip cut that and butt weld that there. We'll run our zip cut through there and down through there. We got it in place. Let's do this for a second. I've got I don't know if it happens on the other side, the post is twisted or not, but you can see, come look at this right here. See that? I don't want that there. So, screwdriver, pluck that out. We'll have to fix it at the top too. But I gotta start somewhere, and I'm gonna start right there. Let's get that flushed off. We'll get it tacked there. One side was learning, the other side's fixed. Okay, we got a tack there. Try to get it flushed off. Just gonna run the zip cut down through a little further. Probably the... I'll just cut that out of there. Fix it. I can cut more. I'm going to leave it like that for now. It's always nice to take the welder, if you watch for a second or listen. I'm hitting the welder to put meat on the metal, not hitting it to weld it. I'm doing it really quick because I want to put a little meat there. So then when I do pull the trigger and weld it, there's some little bit of material there that it welds. So I'm bumping it. Got a little bit of meat there, and then I weld it. I'm bumping it, put a little meat there. What I mean by bumping it is just pulling the trigger, not caring if it welds. I'm just dropping off metal. Basically, I'm dropping off metal so that I can weld it. I got a little gap going on here. That's okay. That's okay. I can show you how I fill that, but you probably say, I already know how he does it. I already know. I'm just going to pull this out here. You can guess what I'm doing. Just dropping off some metal so I can weld it together. Now I need a little bit, I feel like I need a little more shape right there. Once I get it welded, then I can come in with a hammer and a dolly and give myself a little bit of shape there. But basically, I have the other sail panel put on other than zipping it and welding it on. Where it's, yeah, it's good. It's good. Good. I feel like I did a little better job on this part here. Maybe. We'll see. I will take a coat hanger and put it in there. I will fill that, zip that, whatever. But anyways, thanks for coming back. That's sort of a, what can I say? Sort of a hard job to do is to get something looking the same on both sides when you're taking pieces off and you're applying them. But basically I'm taking that shape from over there and I've just applied it to that side there, exact same thing. I left the pattern over there so we could apply the exact same piece of metal. Where we cut this off, I was looking for that hole and I could not find it, but now that I remember, there was a lot of cutting and slicing and dicing going on the weekend, and there was no fear. And if that's what we learned, there was no fear. So basically, we've got the roof in place. I have to weld that up, zip it, and cut it, get Jolene to help me. And then I'm off to, I will end up making a piece in around the door here, rounding that off. We'll be making a piece around here to hold the roof in place, because that's just a structure, what's holding it up. Door shut nice. Thanks very much for coming back. The boys did a good job on the fender. It looks fantastic. You come back tomorrow and we'll do something else. We'll actually do something else. The sail panel will be welded and butted on. You'll get to see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, remember to subscribe, like, share, comment, and the cookies are not done yet. We're just starting to put the ingredients in. So just go easy, and when they're all done, then you can tell me whether you like it or not. 5 window or 3 window.